Hey there, I am Austin. I am the maker of Stuff, which is a new to-do list app for iPhone, iPad, and Mac. It sounds so great to say "and Mac" at the end of that now. We've been working on that for so long. And I appreciate all the great feedback that you've given me on the Mac app. So far, it's been super positive, so thank you for that. And if you don't feel that way, feel free to reach out to me, let me know, and we can see what updates we can get into, help it flow smoother. But there are some things on the roadmap, so stay tuned. This is going to be a quicker update. We'll primarily cover three things. Number one, what has been done in the last month since the Mac release of Stuff. Number two, what is next for Stuff and what's the next big update. And number three, what am I working on right now? So let's dive right into that. Number one, what has happened over the last month? Well, 3 updates have been released to Stuff since the Mac update, and most of it has just been cleaning things up, improving performance, fixing some bugs and some crashes that I've found that weren't found in the beta. So everything should be running a lot more smoothly now. I've done a bunch more work that hasn't yet been released in version 2.3.4, so look out for that one, and you'll see even more of those little fixes. But that's what we've done since then. So number 2, what is next for Stuff? What's the next big update? Well, this week was WWDC, Apple's big conference that they host every year for developers and talk about the new software that they're going to release in the fall. Quick little insert here. Really cool thing about the Apple keynote that happened this week was that Stuff was actually in the keynote. So if you look at this screen right here near the end of the keynote, they show a bunch of apps on the screen, and peeking up from the bottom right there is our beloved app icon for Stuff. So this was a really cool moment. Somebody else pointed it out to me, and then I excitedly posted it online and screenshotted it and sent it to my family and everything. So cool moment just to say that Stuff is continuing to grow in terms of the number of doers like us that use the app. And also it's getting noticed as being one of the staple productivity apps on Apple platforms, which is kind of fun. So anyways, just a quick insert. All right, back to the video. So iOS 27 is coming later this fall, and Stuff will be fully ready for it with all of the new features that were announced at WWDC. The main thing that Apple focused on this year was the new Siri AI, which is a Siri that's actually really, really great. And I can say that because I've been testing it on device. So it actually knows a lot about you and it can take actions based on what's on your screen. And Stuff will support all of that with the launch of iOS 27 later this year. So something to look forward to, and that's basically my roadmap for this summer. Alongside, if you followed last year, not only were we ready for iOS 26, but there were a lot of other little goodies snuck in there with that big update. So that's probably gonna be our biggest update of the year. So something to look forward to, and that'll be happening later this fall with the release of iOS 27. Okay, point number 3, what am I doing right now? Well, I kind of already touched on this just a little bit with talking about what I'll be working on this summer in preparation for iOS 27. But the other part of that is that at WWDC this week, I met with some great people who gave some great feedback about Stuff, and you know who you are. And I really appreciate the feedback, and there's going to be some updates that specifically address specific feedback that I received this week for Stuff. So over the next couple of updates, you'll see some design tweaks, particularly in some of the UI design and some of the words that we use throughout Stuff. So I hope you like it. I think all of them are going to be improvements, but keep an eye out for that. So that's going to be the next couple little updates before we have our major update this fall. Again, that's going to be little design updates in addition to continuing performance updates and bug fixes. Okay, so that's it for the updates to Stuff. Last little tidbit to close this video out. I don't typically talk about the work that I do outside of Stuff as my quote-unquote day job, but recently I took a role that I'm super excited about and I do think aligns with the mission of Stuff, and that is with a company called RevenueCat. So I've used RevenueCat for a long time, including in Stuff. If you're a developer, you know about RevenueCat. Essentially, RevenueCat is a platform that helps you manage paywalls and onboarding experiences for your products. So I'm an iOS developer advocate with RevenueCat. I'm really looking forward to being in this role. And the reason I bring this up is because you may see me around in other places online making tutorials about paywalls or talking about how to optimize your app's onboarding strategy. And all of that is through RevenueCat and related to my work there. So again, something that I'm really passionate about and excited about, but that's just to clear up any confusion that might come if you've only watched these developer logs in the past. And then the other thing that I would say is don't be worried about the ongoing development of stuff. I'm still a developer making stuff, and I won't be working on stuff any less than I was before. It's just that before I wasn't talking about my day job, and now it aligns a lot more with what I'm doing on stuff. And so conventions that I would attend previously as the maker of stuff, I might be attending now as a developer advocate with RevenueCat. So there's some changes there, but really with stuff and in terms of speed of development, it should stay the same. So that's everything. I appreciate you watching, and until the next time, I hope you enjoy these little updates that we have, and I'll talk to you again in probably about a month. So I'll see you then, and until then, continue to get more stuff done. Should that be our official tagline? I'll work on it. We'll get something. Anyways, I'll see you next time.